Many of the improvements in Java 7 are intended to make our lives as programmers a bit easier. Here's the first example. For this and for all demonstrations in this course, I'll use existing projects that are a part of the course's exercise files. If you have access to the exercise files, you can import them into Eclipse 4.2 Juno. I'll go to the menu and choose File, Import. Then I'll choose General, Existing Projects into Workspace in the Import dialog and click Next. Now I'll browse to choose a root directory. And in this case, I'll choose a folder named Simplified Generics that's in the Java 7 NF chapter. I'll click OK and then click Finish to import the project. In the Package Explorer, I'll open the project and open the source folder, and then drill down and locate and open the main class. Now I'll double-click the tab for the editor, and I'm ready to code. And I'll follow that same process to get started with each of the demos in this course. Now to this new feature, simplified use of generics. In this main class, I've instantiated 3 objects, all typed as the olive class, a custom class that's defined in this project. Then I've declared a simple array with references to each of those objects, and then I'm outputting the array as a string. I'll run the class, and there's the resulting output, the data type and hash value of that object. Now, as I did in the Java Essential Training course, instead of an array, I'd like to use an array list, a strongly typed class that's a part of the Java Developers Kit. On the next line, I'll use the data type array list. I'll press Control Space, and that will add the import statement for that class. And then the cursor lands inside the diamond operator, where I'm being asked for the data type of the objects that will be referenced in the array list. And I'll set the data type as olive, the name of the class that's used to instantiate the objects themselves. And I'll add a variable name of olives2. Now I'm going to instantiate the array list with the equals and then new, and then the constructor method, which has the same name as the class itself as always. And then I'll add the semicolon at the end. And perhaps without your knowing it, I've already demonstrated this new feature of Java 7. In previous versions of Java, I would have had to declare the data type again in the ArrayList constructor method, in this case adding olive inside the diamond operator. But that's redundant. There really should be no reason to have to declare the data type twice. And in Java 7, you don't have to. So I'm going to take that data type out, and I'll see that Eclipse doesn't tell me that there are any errors. There's a warning, but that's just because I'm not yet using olives2 in the rest of my program. So I'll change olives to olives2. I'll comment out the declaration of the simple array. I'll add a few lines to add references to the individual objects to the array list, calling olives2.add and then O1. And then I'll duplicate that line a couple of times using an Eclipse keyboard shortcut. On Windows, press Ctrl and Alt and press the down arrow. And on Mac, hold down Command and Option and press the down arrow. And you'll get a copy of that line of code. Then I'll change O1 to O2 on that line and to O3 on that line. I'll save my changes and run the code. And now in my output, I get much more information about the object. I see the name and the color of each object, and that's because of the toString method that's a part of the olive class. So the important thing that I wanted to use in this demonstration is that if you're using classes that use generic declarations, such as ArrayList and many other collection classes, in Java 7 you only need to declare the data type of the contained objects once in the variable declaration, but you don't have to redeclare it in the constructor method. It will save a little time in your coding and in the maintenance of your Java programs.